Hey everyone, how are you? I am Yvette Lloyd, um, the vet childcare therapist. But I want to get straight to the point. I want to talk about managing your money during 2024. I know people find it very difficult to manage their money when it comes to the childcare business. And we make a lot of money in the childcare business. Sometimes we just don't manage it correctly. And we just need a little structure when it comes with it. And I want to make sure that you guys are like using your finances like very effectively and make sure that you have long-term success when it comes to owning your childcare business, and it could be able to be open for many, many years. Even when you're long gone, it should be able to keep on running. It's a lot of principles when it comes to financial management and remain consistent. And I want to share like a few valuable tips on mastering your financial success for your childcare business. And first and foremost, I want to create some type of budget. I have plenty of forms that I will be having um that's going to be coming out really, really soon that you guys can utilize within your childcare business, and you could just keep going from there. It could be an Excel spreadsheet. It could be if you're old school and you just like writing it down on paper, you're going to be able to do that. And it's not even going to be more than $1 for you to even purchase, so that you're able to continue to have that and keep everything managed correctly. So I want to get to a few things so that you guys are able to know exactly what's going on when it comes to budgeting your money. And one of the first things is, of course, budgeting. Developing a comprehensive budget that outlines your expected income, your expenses, including the costs of such as your rent, utilities, salaries, supplies, insurance, license fees, different things of that nature. And sometimes if you see it as a vision, you'll be able to see where your money is going, how much money you can save, how much money you could just push in to be it, probably give a staff member a raise. It could be different things that could come with that. But a regularly review and update your budget to reflect the changes and expenses of your income is extremely important. And a lot of times we forget to do that because we are so busy working and doing things that we do. I can say, me personally, I was horrible at first. I was so horrible because I wasn't only managing my daycare center, which I only had an in-home at this time, but I was also managing. I had me a youth program for young girls, and I was dumping all of my finances into this youth program for girls, not knowing that I could be paying off my car, I could be paying off my house, I could be paying staff more, I could be doing so many other things, but I was dumping it all into the community and giving back to the community instead of actually micromanaging and having boundaries when it comes to me actually giving back and being able to touch bases on other things as well. And everything would have still been a complete success, you know? So that was like one of the mistakes that I have made. I don't know if you're new to my channel, but I hold myself accountable for a lot of things. I will blur out many of my testimonies, things that I've been through in childcare, because a lot of people make it seem like it's so easy. A lot of people make it seem they did not struggle. A lot of people make it seem like being a business owner is easy, and it's not. And I'm here to tell you the truth. It's not. We have problems with managing money. We have problems with managing staff. We have problems with managing our damn self. So I just want to be sure that you guys are clear that I'm not here to sugarcoat anything at all. So moving forward, we have the fee structure. Fee structure is so important, and this was like one of my mistakes as well. You got to set a clear competitive pricing for your childcare service. Consider the factors like your location, your service, what you're providing, the local market, and everything else. This is one of the mistakes I made because I was always big on making childcare affordable for parents. So that they're able to bring their child, or I used to go probably like based on their income or ask them what are they able to afford. Y'all, I used to do some things because I have a heart of gold. Like, I just can't help it. I have a problem with seeing people struggle. I have a problem with people not being able to have like a life to a point where they are able to achieve things that they're trying to achieve. And you got to have a clear communication when your fee structure, when your parents, and ensure that your payments are on time. I have gotten to a point now where I make sure that my fees are affordable at the same time is still at the childcare rate, because some people charge a whole lot more than what I do. I just make sure I'm not cheating myself either at the same time, because it could be a lot when it comes to things like that. So you have to make sure you're not cheating yourself, and you have to make sure that you are also being persistent about it, and making sure that parents know that you have to pay on time, either on Monday or Friday, or however your payment process is. And it's very, very important. Um we have to be on it, because we can miss out on a lot of money when it comes to that, especially when it comes to private pay parents, because private pay parents, they pay the regular fee. And then you have people that are government assistants, and they have co-pays that they have to pay weekly, and the government actually pays the rest of the balance. So you have that too. Financial planning is very, very important. Create a financial plan that includes short term, long term goals for your childcare business. This may include like expansion plans, upgrades, and additional services. Upgrades are always legit. You want to stay in a millennium. You want to have everything. When you come in there, you want people to feel welcome. You want to be like, oh my God, this is so beautiful, or oh my gosh, I love the energy in here, oh my gosh, I love the space in here. You don't want nobody to come into your daycare center and they just be like, oh my God, this is so miserable, I do not want to be in here. You just want to have the energy like on point. You want to have everything structured. And me personally, right now, I'm in process of expansion and upgrades. I've done like many, many things on the outside. Now I'm trying to figure out things that I want to do on the inside. And it's very important for you to continue with those upgrades, because it keeps the people coming. Like, people love upgrades. They love cool stuff. I love cool stuff. And it's always dope for you to have cool things. So just making sure that's all the way cool. But one thing about it, when you have your funds coming in through state, private pay, grant funding, things of that nature, make sure you build an emergency fund to handle the unexpected expenses or temporary dips in revenue, because you never know when something is going to happen. And one of those expenses I recommend, lawyer. You always have to make sure that the lawyer is the retainer fee is there, just in case of anything happening. It's always good to have your insurance paid up, making sure everything is on point with that. It's just important. It is, seriously. You guys will thank me later. Record keeping, you can maintain an accurate and detailed financial records. You can use an accounting software to track income and expenses. A lot of people use QuickBooks is like the simplest things you could use. Keeping up with your receipts and your invoices, and organizing easy reference during tax season. And you're going to need this at the end of the year, so that everybody know where your money is coming and where your money is going. So it's good to know exactly the both so that you have everything going in and out correctly. And I would recommend you to have an experienced, trustworthy, professional accountant. Like, don't just have any old accountant. A lot of times, a really good accountant is going to cost you. You got to spend money to make money. You got to spend money to have a successful business. You got to spend money to basically have things that's done correctly. A lot of people say, "Oh, this is too expensive." Excuse me. Oh, this is too expensive, this and that. But at the same time, you want the things done right. You want it done correctly. If you don't know, I have a podcast also. It's called Life Her Podcast. And if you go in there, I have plenty of accountants that I have interviewed in the past, and you can reach out to them and they will be able to help you and guide you, and they do it anywhere. They could be in Texas and they can help you in Ohio, or they could be in Texas and they can help you in Chicago. Wherever you at, they can help you. So next I have staff management. Whew. Now this is a lot with staff management. You have labor costs. Are you significant part of the childcare business expenses? Managing staff levels based on enrollment and business needs. Consider cross training staff. Handle multiple roles. Optimizing labor costs. You have a lot of things when it comes to staff, and you just got to make sure you break things down. That's why you need a legit professional accountant so that you'll know what taxes is going out when you paying everyone, which I'm going to get to that at my number 9. But right now is really managing your staff, making sure you paying them the amount that you can afford and everything else. So make sure you really stay on point when it comes to staff management and making sure that staff training is done correctly. You want to set goals. If you have your center and star ratings and you got star rating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, try to shoot for the 5. Like, have some goals on different things that you want to do in the different classrooms. That's something that I'm personally working on. I never had the desire to have a 5-star center because I was thinking of like, oh my gosh, all this paperwork, or I got to keep up with staff and this and that. I always wanted things simple. But at the same time, with me wanting things simple, I wanted the best at the same time. So if I want the best, I have to apply myself to give the best and do my best so that I'm able to have a successful center. So that's one of the things I had to make sure and make a lot of changes in as far as what I have to do when it comes to that. So next we have marketing and enrollment. Marketing and enrollment is something, it's another video that I have on here. It's one of my hot top videos where I talk a lot about marketing your daycare, different strategies and how to attract new clients and existing ones. How can you attract them and you could have new things coming into them? Monitor enrollment trends and adjusting your budget and staff levels accordingly. Getting more enrollment kids, I will say the best thing ever is making sure that your SEO is connected to your website, and make sure you have a dope website that could just catch everybody's eye, and making sure that SEO is connected to Google. So when people say, where's the nearest daycare near me? Your daycare center will pop up as the nearest and they will call you. That's one of the huge things, and making sure that you're part of the Better Business Bureau so that they will see the levels of your daycare. It's so many other ways of marketing and enrollment. And even when it comes to enrollment, yes, we have an enrollment fee, but sometimes you may want to throw in a gift card or something like that, or maybe even showing appreciation to a parent that's always referring kids to your daycare center or anything. Just make some changes, make some fun out of it. Parent of the week, parent parent teacher conference, just different things like that, so that parents could find different interests in what you are doing and they could take you serious, and that's one of the most important things, and that's one of the things that, again, I'm working on too, because just when you have so much going on, it's hard, but you got to make sure that you are putting those things in place for you to be able to keep it going and keeping it consistent. Next, we have regulatory compliance. Stay informed about your licensing requirements and regulations in your area. Non-compliance can lead to fines and closure, and budget the necessary trainings and updates and meet the regular standards. Um, I have a love hate when it comes to licensing. I'm not gonna lie. One thing that I always had a problem with when it comes to licensing, you will get you will have a licensing inspector that you have for a whole year, right? And then the next year, oh, hey, I want to welcome you, such and such. They are your new licensing inspector. So you could expect them to be coming in sometime soon, and it's going to be an unexpected visit, blah, blah, blah. However, what I don't like is each time we get a new licensing inspector, you have to start all over again. It's like they're having you do things that meet their standards or things that they like and don't like. And it becomes very, very frustrating. It's one of my frustrations that I stress all the time. I had to stress it recently when I had me a license and inspection, because it's like you get so many you get people coming in, but people will go by license and rule book, by the book, and some of them are just very, very strict and strategic. Some of them are pretty lean and laid back and like, hey, just as long as you have the important things done, that's what matters the most. And the safety of the kids, that's what matters the most. Or then you could get somebody to come in and nitpick and be like, oh, this toy is broken and you shouldn't have this toy here. Or maybe you should change this desk because this desk has a crack in it. So maybe you should buy a new one, or go through your cupboards, or just do unnecessary extra things that normally doesn't and haven't happened. So that's one of my frustrations. So my thing to you is, make sure that everything is on point as much as possible. Make sure everything is clear out the way, clean out the way, just like boom, bam, boom. And then you don't got to worry about nothing else, you know? And that's one of my cry outs of things that I actually personally go through all the time when it comes to me getting a new license and inspector. So just make sure you guys are always keeping things in that on point and making sure you stay up to date to the different emails that they send you when one of the licensing rules requirements change, or if you need so many trainings before the year is out, just making sure your staff is up to date and on point, because they make changes literally all the time. So you just got to make sure that you're on it all the time. Insurance. Ensure that your daycare business, your insurance is adequately insured. Like, this may include like liability insurance, property insurance, the coverage for the staff just in case of an emergency, the coverage of the kids just in case of an emergency or someone's trying to sue you, your property insurance just in case if you catch a fire or some incident happen, or even child molestation or child abuse, or all of that stuff. Make sure everything is covered within your insurance policy, and make sure you regularly review and update your insurance policy to match the evolving needs of your business, because changes. I've stressed this so many times. Changes always come. Changes always happen. The dynamics of family is even changing. Like these kids are different. These parents are different. Some of them are just freaking just they're different to a point where it's hard to maintain certain children and it's hard to maintain certain parents, and you always have to make sure that you're covered because I'm gonna be honest, if they're mad at you, oh, they're going to the extent they're going to call licensing on you. They are going to call child abuse on you. They are going to call the police on you. They're going to sue you. They're going to do any and everything possible for you not to be a business anymore, for you to not even exist. So you always have to make sure this insurance is in place. And again, like I said previously before, lawyer. Make sure that lawyer is in your financial planning and make sure that you have a retainer fee paid in full, maybe at least two 2 months up or something. Something to a point that you know if you ever need he or she, you could go to them anytime because you're gonna need that. It's a lot that don't goes in that goes on in childcare business. Nothing cannot happen to nobody. Anything can happen to you. Just because you have an amazing top number one daycare, this and that, anything can happen to anybody. You are not better than anyone else when it comes to this daycare business. Some people don't even care who you are. They're going to do what they do because that's just how certain people are. I'm going to just be honest. That's just how it is, but you just got to make sure that you are always ahead of the game and you have things going great for yourself. Um tax planning. Lord, listen. Taxes ain't no joke. Taxes ain't no joke. And when you work with a tax professional to take advantage of the availability when they're available for deductions, credits for childcare businesses, and plan for tax payments throughout the year and avoid surprises during tax season. Listen, those surprises, listen, you'll be like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. I owe what? I thought I paid that. But it'd be another fee that just come out of nowhere. Like, hey, how you doing? Pay me. And you just don't want that. You don't want that at all. Your best bet, especially when it comes to liability taxes, federal taxes, state taxes, city taxes, when it comes to those taxes, try your best to micromanage them weekly. Put some sort of money into a weekly. I don't care if it's $200-300. Put money towards it. Would have your accountant pull money from your account and pay on it, because when that quarterly come, you won't see a huge amount. You won't see 5,000, 6,000, 8,000, 9,000, however big your staff is, however big your center is, and however big you paying. You always want to pay something on it weekly before that quarterly come, so you won't be coming out of so much money. Me personally, I don't like paying that much lump sum of money at once. When I see a something that's like $5,000 and I have to pay this for my quarterly, I was like, oh my God, it will stress me out. Maybe that's just me, but I'm trying to give you a gem here so you won't be stressed out and you won't be seeing that big fee like that. Um, I've seen it before, and that was my last time seeing it, and I don't want to see it no more because that was a lot of money, y'all. It just coming out of that, it just gave me anxiety. I can't do it. So please make sure you tax plan and you have a layout of different things. And this is something else I'm going to provide for everyone. I'm going to have a tax sheet so that you can see exactly what you're going to be paying and how you could just manage it the way you can. It's gonna be really nice, and it's like I said, it'll be either $1 or less for you to just print it out, and you can have it, and you can just keep track of everything that you're doing. I could even create it as an ebook if I find that everyone really like it. I can make a whole journal with it and everything, but it's just so important for you guys to just be organized. I like to stay organized. I'm trying to get organized right now because I'm a little bit kind of out of place, but it's coming together. It's really coming together. Um Lastly I have is continuously monitoring and adaptation. Um Regular monitoring your finances is so important. You have to look at this either every week, every other week, every month. Just make sure you look at it in that month. Like it's the month of January. Look at it a few times this month. Make sure you're not subscribed to certain things that you forgot to cancel, or some money just getting pulled out of nowhere. You be like, wait a minute, I thought I canceled that. You gotta make sure that you on point when it comes to things like that, because we don't have no money to waste. We don't have time to waste. You gotta make sure that you are getting things in order. Listen, I want y'all to be successful this year. I want you to have it all this year. You can always have it all. Just stay informed about the industry, the trends. Adapt your business to different strategies and accordingly. Just make sure that you always keep up with things and you always set a trend for yourself. Or even if you see ideas that somebody else is doing, it's always cool to even like backpack off of that. Is pretty cool things where you want, if you want to change your classroom around, it's plenty ideas on Pinterest. You can find some cool ideas how to change your room and everything. I think it'd be really dope. You know what I'm saying? So just really look into some things like that. It's very, very important for you to be able to do that. So that's one of my last things. I hope you guys really enjoyed that. I like to make my videos real short, sweet, simple, straight to the point. Again, please subscribe my channel. I have a lot more videos coming up. I took a small break for a minute, but I'm back at it. I'm about to get you guys a lot of information coming. I have a website coming where you could, like I said, purchase my different worksheets, workbooks, um all the different things that I can help you guys provide. I will also have a thing where you could do a consultation with me. You could talk to me about different things. You could come onto my podcast and have different conversations. We can do it all. So yeah, so make sure you guys always remember, just stay successful, stay doing your thing, and it's room for everybody. It is room for everybody. And have an amazing day, you guys.